Hey, Mr. Miyagi style guys, gals, been a while. Sorry guys, I've been really busy with a lot of stuff, life in general. I still haven't received my, there's been stock issues with the Ace Pro 2. I guess they're selling really well. So I still haven't, I still haven't got mine yet. So once I get mine and do some testing and playing around, I'm gonna do a review of it with the original Ace and what the difference is. I'm not gonna get too much into the review, guys. We've seen a million reviews already. We've seen side by sides. I'm gonna try and do something a little different with the Ace Pro 2 and some of my other cameras as well. Something I've been kind of planning to do and wanting to do for a while. I just want to kind of do a quick segment here with the HoverAirX X1 Pro. Now, you guys saw the video that I had at the beginning where I had a real huge, I had a real bad start with the HoverAir X1 Pro, which is this flying drone, the selfie drone here, the folding one. Now, it was actually a combination of a couple things, which I later found out. This is actually a new one, it's a replacement. So after a couple of weeks of playing ping pong with tech support at HoverAir, we finally realized that it was a combination of the software that's not ready. I don't think it was ready when we first got these as early adopters. We kind of expect that to happen. And I did have actually a hardware issue. There was something wrong with my battery and a charging state of the battery. So it caused all sorts of problems, connection problems, that kind of thing. I just couldn't get this thing connected half the time, and it just, you know, I tried different phones and different devices, and it just wasn't happening. And when I did finally connect, it was really glitchy. The actual HoverAir X1 Pro. So they finally said, you know what, we're just gonna send you out a brand new one, and let's give that a crack and see if it is the hardware issue. When I got the new one, I just got it like a couple days ago, 3 or 4 days ago. I had it out of the box, connected, charged up, and didn't have one issue with it. It connected to my phone fine. Now, granted that it's been through, since I got the first one, it's been to 3 firmware updates for the drone itself. And there's been, I think, 4 or 5 app updates. But I use the same app, version app for because I still had the original one that I got. And the new one as well. I had the 2. And yeah, there was definitely a problem with the drone because the drone, the older one wouldn't connect half the time to my phone. And this one connected every time. And I was able to access the video library on the actual drone itself on the new one. The old one, I had a tough time. It would connect, disconnect, connect. I think there was a problem with the Wi-Fi issue with the actual drone itself. So that said, I've only had this for, I think, 2-3 days to play with. I've got some footage here after this. You can take a peek at it. It's not long. It's going to be a short segment. I just want to show you what this thing can actually do. Now, I know, guys, there's going to be people jumping on and say, oh, DJI is better. I have the DJI Neo as well, guys. Okay. So I'm going to be doing a kind of a comparison between the two. And I love them both, guys. You know, with the price difference of the DJI Neo and the versatility of the DJI Neo, it's a great little drone for the price. You can't beat $200 drone, even though the resolution is inferior to the HoverAir X1 Pro. But don't forget, the HoverAir X1 Pro is almost twice the price as the DJI. So you have to factor that in too. There are some things I like about the HoverAir X1 Pro, some things I don't like about it. And there's something I love about the DJI Neo and some things I don't like about it. And I'll go through those with you as I go. But I want to first show you the sample of the HoverAir. Finally got it up in the air. And I took my old mountain bike out because I've been using my mountain bike, my electric mountain bike. And I wanted to kind of mountain biking with my original mountain bike, which is not an electric mountain bike. Man, I tell you, electric bike spoils you. I don't know how bad a shape I'm in when I get on a real bike and actually pedal throughout my entire segment here. But you'll see, I had this thing clocked up to about 30 kilometers, and my mountain bike going up to about 30 kilometers an hour. And this drone, I have to admit, after the biking, I went with my family to the local pub, and it's a bit of a walk there. And there's a big spot, and I'll post a video later on. I'm just kind of putting it together right now there's a big spot, open spot where I actually flew the drone. I had both with me. I had the the X1 Pro with me, and I also had the Neo with me, and they both did excellent. The one thing I did have an issue with that I've noticed with the Neo, where I think through firmware updates, I think they're just going to get better with the Neo. But right now, the Neo seems to have a real tough time with tracking. There's been a couple times when I almost got home, I did a low follow me tracking, and for some weird reason, the Neo just would not track me. It took me 2 or 3 times and then it finally got me, and then it was fine afterwards. And then there was a couple issues where I was in an open area and I was doing the orbit. It wouldn't track me very well. I'm just wondering if that's just maybe it just needs a little bit of a tweak in the tracking part of it. It was a bit of a windy day, and you'll see in some of the footage later on. I'll post another video of both of them together. And Neo did have a little bit of a tough time with the wind, keeping it stable. I have to admit that the X1 Pro in the wind, it performs very well. It is a fast little tracker. Like, it never lost me in any of my testing with this drone. I've only had it for a couple days, and I'll put it through the ringer for a little bit more. But from what I've done and what I've played with, the side tracking, the dolly track, front tracking, the back tracking, it did not lose me once. The Neo has lost me a couple times. So that's the only thing I have with the big differences. But again, much more expensive and much cheaper. And I'm going to tell you what I love about the Neo, and that has to do with the versatility of this drone. If you're getting to starting with drones and using RC controllers, this is your drone right here, right off the bat. For me to be able to use my Goggles 3 and my Motion RC, and I actually bought the FPV RC3 because I want to learn how to fly FPV. This drone is compatible with all those, and that makes this outstanding, the Neo. In terms of a $200, well, Canada's $250 drone, but $250 is probably the cheapest drone that you can get with what it has in terms of features. Whereas this one here, portability. I just love the feel of this when it's folded up. It fits my pocket much easier than the Neo does. I find a Neo very slippery. I don't have a problem with this. I almost dropped this, slipped out of my hands a few times. So I put little dots on it, like little grip dots on it, so I don't slip out of my hands. Not a big deal. It's not a deal breaker or anything. It's just my preference, and these are my preferences only. The folding is nice for me to be able to fold this up, fold it back, slip it in my pocket, and then I'm gone, which is really nice. The 4K on this, I'm sorry guys, I don't care what you say. You can do as much post as you want with the Neo, and I've done it. The 4K on this looks spectacular, and I can't even imagine what the 8K looks like on the Pro Max. But as you can see in the footage, the 4K is just stunning. It was a beautiful day. We're in the midst of changing seasons, so we're going into fall, and you'll see in my bike ride that the leaves are starting to change color. It's one of my favorite times of the year, and as I'm riding through the trail, I'm riding on the leaves, and just a wave of different colors. Just gorgeous. Anyways, I'll cut this short and take a peek at the sample. You can fast forward if you want. You don't have to watch it all. It's, I think, 6 minutes of footage of me riding and this thing following me. And I was going, I think, 26 to 30 kilometers on my bike. And this thing just kept with me. And as I was I like to ride, I sway back and forth on a ride. And this thing just sways back and forth like an airplane. It's pretty wild. But yeah, anyways, guys, if there's any questions, drop me a line down the bottom in the description. And I get it, guys. $200, I know, and $500, I get it. You guys don't have to tell me. This is a great little drone, guys. The Neo, it's a beautiful little drone, and I love it. I love them both, to be honest with you. I was getting a little worried about this one at the beginning because I thought, okay, wait a minute, something's wrong. This is just not a good start for the drone. But I did find out that it was a hardware issue. So, of course, I never fails. I always get a defective unit. That's just my luck, right? But everything's cool with that now. The drone's working fine. There is still a couple things that that needs a little bit tweaking with the HoverAir. In terms of if you're flying it up high, sometimes it won't land properly. like you have to like kind of jump up and grab the drone. So that's kind of been through around the launch group. A couple people are having problems with that. So I think they're working on that right now. They've actually announced that they're going to be working on the hand landing, because there are some glitches with the hand landing. So that's the only thing that I know of that I've had issues with this drone. So I don't fly it too high too often, because I'm tall, but that thing can go up pretty high. Other than the other presets, they work just fine, as far as I know so far. So still lots of testing to do, still lots of flying to do, and I'm gonna try and do the same thing with my mountain bike and see if it'll track me and go as fast as the X1 Pro. But take a peek at the footage. Like I said, any questions, drop me in line, let me know what you think. Again, two really good selfie starter drones. Well, this is not really a start. The X1 is a starter drone, but again, there's a significant price difference, so there's that. But it has some features that are very unique. The HoverAir and the DJI has the Neo has very unique features on its own as well. But anyways, have fun, enjoy, guys. Respect. Ciao. Okay, here we go. Get a little bit of exercise today. Man, I missed this bike. Well guys, just doing a ride. I'm still waiting for my Ace Pro 2. I've just been told it's being delayed, of course, never fails. Oh well, it is what it is. I'll get it eventually. Woo! Pedal floor. All right, so I have the Ace Pro mounted on my backpack shoulder strap, and it's facing upside down. I just want to get stuff off my bike because it gets too rattly on this bike. And an electric bike's one thing, on this one, no. All right, and if you can see, clocking 30K. All right, I want to try my drone here. I'm gonna stop. All right, let's see how fast this guy goes.
Current mode, sidetrack, hover, zoom out, follow, middle, follow.
Okay, let's go. I got the drone flying. We're clocking 16K. Let's see how fast this guy goes. Hello. All right, that's this. All right, clocking at 15, 20K. Let's see how fast this guy goes. Okay, 26K. We're still keeping up.
Daniel-san!